My sole purpose in this life is to heal. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason and nothing we go through is by accident. As I sit back and reflect on my own life, I know that I was meant to use my voice to help others for whatever reason can't quite use theirs. Let me be your voice. Let me be your voice when you feel nobody understands you. Let me be your voice when you feel no one else is listening. Let me be your voice when you feel ashamed for whatever reason. Let me be your voice when you can't quite speak. And let me be the voice that you hear as you grow with Ravy. The countdown, just go ahead and play that shit. All right. You leaving us?
Yeah.
Okay, period. Okay. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Growing with Ravy. I have a wonderful guest on here. This is my friend. We've been knowing each other for years. He goes by the name Struggle Maybe or AG. Which one you want to go with?
Big
today?
Struggle.
Big Struggle.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm a little tipsy, so I'm feeling great. It's
go.
okay. How was your move this week? Like, how you been feeling? How you feel today?
I'm good. Motivated. You know, I'm a workaholic, so just getting tasks done. You know, doing my thing.
Yeah.
Moving and grooving.
Better know it.
Yeah.
Period. I seen your post yesterday where you was like, "This is why I do it," and you
Sure.
had one of your students that was like, "You tell us what he said."
Yeah. So I had took a group of kids to Alabama and Atlanta, and just to get them out their neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize, number one, it was his birthday weekend, so we had a great time. But I didn't realize he had never been outside of Indianapolis.
Mm.
And so
This
he said
was yesterday?
Yesterday he told me, but we had already went on the trip. So when he said it, I'm like, damn, hold on.
Right.
Like I was the first person to take you out, so that meant something.
Yeah.
And then I told him, you know, I'm taking kids to Puerto Rico this year. So he was like, yeah.
He wanted to go
He definitely
for sure.
wanted. He ain't never been on a plane. We doing all that.
Do they need passports? No, you
Not
don't
for
need
Puerto Rico.
passports.
Yeah,
for
that's
Puerto
why
Rico.
that's part of the reason we going to Puerto Rico, because we just gonna get our feet wet in Puerto Rico and then we going crazy after that.
I'm excited. We're gonna have to talk furthermore because I want to work in the sense of like getting a teenage girl type of group going on.
For sure.
But how was your week in regards to like that, but just in general, like your livelihood, work, all of that?
Man, it's smooth. Learning a lot about this space I'm in and where I'm going. So, you know, I'm just kind of navigating it every day. It was smooth though. It was a smooth week. I learned a lot about myself this week. So
do you feel to share?
Yeah. So, in this space, I'm kind of looked at as like I'm up there.
Yeah.
And so I got tried a little bit this week, just on a business end. And my reaction when getting tried normally ain't the reaction that everybody else does. I really so I be having to pause myself, stop myself.
Calm down.
You know,
Let me take a deep breath.
But luckily, you know, it was just a learning experience, and you know, I took it on the chin.
All right. Describe your mood, your headspace, where you at right now with knowing that you were tried. How do you feel now?
I'm peaceful because I like challenges. So I feel like I passed the test, and I done been through a lot of tests. So that's one of the things I'm good. I feel at peace knowing that I could have punked out, but I didn't.
You ain't take me out of my element. You didn't
Right.
take me there like you thought you was going
For sure.
to.
And
I stayed grounded and I stayed strong in who the fuck I am.
100%.
But you try to mess with me.
That's it.
Okay, period. I want to describe my mood. I'm actually in a great mood. You know, I'm a little tipsy. I know I said I wasn't supposed to be drinking, but I talked with one of my good friends, Tiffany, and we said that we're going, well, not we, but me. I said I was only going to drink in like social events where I'm getting paid to drink, or I'm getting paid to put myself out there.
For sure.
In the sense of like, oh, being at home, I don't really care to drink in that sense. But if I'm gonna be out and this free, and you paying me or you acknowledge me to have a good time, like I'm gonna bring the vibes. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm in a good little space. My week was, I don't even know what to say. My week, I had an attitude all week, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
To people that didn't deserve it, shout out to my man. I apologize. Okay. Let me just say this out on the radio or wherever this is going to be played, podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, whatever. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cause when it's that time, you have a wife, shout out to the missus.
Yeah, for sure.
But when it's that time to give her space, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, okay.
I know the
Like, okay, it's that time. Let me go ahead and leave it alone real quick.
Let me slide. Yep.
Yeah. So shout out to our peoples, But yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on over to the roll-up.
Whenever you call, baby, I'll roll up. I'll roll up. I'll roll up. Whenever you call, baby, I'll roll up. I'll roll up. I'll roll up. Whenever you call, baby, I'll roll up.
Okay, so in the roll-up, I take 3 deep breaths, and I listen to I Create podcasts, and it was an amazing show. Let me just say that. Shout out to I Create, because I got so inspired with listening to your podcast. I was like, oh, I'm going to ask him this. I'm going to ask him this. I'm going to go in that. But I take 3 deep breaths, and I noticed that you said that breathing changed your life. And I say the same damn thing. So it's very intentional for me to slow down and kind of enjoy the moment. Like, I'm a little nervous. I don't understand why, but I am a little nervous, but this takes time for me to slow down the pie and really be intentional with the things that we say. So I take my deep breaths by breathing in through my nose, holding it as long as I can, and then releasing it out my mouth. Same for you?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take our 3 deep breaths by breathing in. Don't be afraid to be like, oh, okay.
Nah, mine don't sound like that. Nah.
Breathe in. One more, breathe in. Yeah. How you feel?
I'm good.
Okay,
yeah,
you
good feeling. Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
I feel a little high after that.
For sure.
I ain't smoked nobody's weed in a couple of days. But this session, I just want you to pop your shit. You tell us who you are.
Yeah. For sure. Big struggle, AG, Aaron Green. I'm a husband, a father, a leader, a stepper, a revolutionary, visionary. I'm a little bit of everything. I'm a social worker, so I work in a space where serving people is what I do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I run a youth program that I created during COVID to help kids identify what trauma is, but also coping skills on how to move forward, navigate that space. I'm an entrepreneur. I got a clothing brand. I'm a hustler. I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I specifically wanted you on. I'm going to just say Mike took you from me. I wanted you to be on my show first.
For sure.
But I was like, yeah, I'm going to get AG on here. And the next thing I know, he was like, yeah, we get Aaron on. I was like, dang it. But it's a whole different, platform, different audience and things like that. And we go a little bit more deeper on here in the sense of everything. But I did want to say, I know you said clothing. Have you been putting out merch?
Nah.
Because what's going on? Because I want this hoodie that you got on.
Nah, man, my program been going crazy. So it's hard to balance it. But it's coming back because I realize it's a stream of income that I could use to put into these kids. So instead of worrying about grants and shit, I can go ahead and drop some clothes, sell out.
Yeah.
Put that money somewhere.
Hold on, pause. Y'all hear him say sell out? Okay. That's what we putting out there.
Yeah, we don't hold on to nothing. And if I don't sell it, I give it away.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I get a lot of calls about kids who don't have clothes.
Yeah.
Like I just did it last week. I filled the bag with a bunch of clothes and gave them out. And then any kid that I gain as a client through social work, they all get clothes too.
So that's one thing that I feel like I didn't know. Like I knew that you had your own program, Struggle Made Us, period.
Yeah.
And I knew that you worked in the community? Like, I thought that you just was like a teacher or something at Thrival. I didn't know that you did social work. So tell us a little bit about that.
So at Thrival, I actually was the dean. And that was,
What?
But
at my old high school. Shout out to Orlington, period.
But that really wasn't, that didn't really bring the best out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I love engaging with the kids. I love being around kids. But when in a dean role, you're more like a parent.
Yeah.
And I like being a big brother.
Right.
Where you gonna listen, I'm gonna show you some little things. We gonna be friends for real. Cause
right.
I don't want to be the person, and then a dean is expected to discipline you, and I'm not gonna suspend you for some normal shit.
Right.
You know,
for some shit that I used to get suspended off
for
of.
sure.
Right.
And I know, like, I done lost a lot of kids doing this work I do. So if I send you home for 5 days, I might not ever see you again.
Right.
So I couldn't agree with doing that. And
what was our dean, Dr. White?
Yeah,
was that? Yeah.
He was the
5 days player or something like that. He used to tell us.
And I went around the corner. I ain't even go to Orleans. I went to Cathedral. So I was around the corner. I just pulled up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do social work. I've been doing it for the last 10 years. And what that looks like really is I'm a home-based caseworker. So I take on families and children who the families have lost their children. Wow. And it could be temporarily. And I'm helping them basically accomplish all the goals that they need to get their kids back.
That's what I was going to say. Do you work one-on-one more so with the parents?
Yes, I work one-on-one with the parents, but then my caseload right now is 90% kids. So I have kids that are in foster care whose parents have lost them completely, most of them. And so they're about to be adopted or they've been adopted. And I help them with life skills and just this new realm of living. They got to, they got to experience different things, and they're extremely traumatized. So helping them
pulled away from your parents.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a lot. These kids going through a lot.
So how do you I know you said it's a struggle, with the clothing line and things. How do you create balance with social worker? I mean, I can only imagine that taking all of your time.
Yeah.
But then struggle made us. But then struggle made me, the clothing brand. Mm-hmm. But then having your own relationship with these kids, how the hell?
So
because I'm over here, I can't even do 2 kids at home.
Yeah.
Being a full-time mom and then trying to do podcasting and then mom cave and then so please give me some advice.
I'm one of them people, I don't believe in balance. I get we talk about it a lot, but it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because something is going to take a hit.
Right.
So I got 5 kids of my own. You know what I mean? And so if I really want to pave this life that I never had, then I'm going to have to go get it.
Right.
How we live. I mean, we live in the United States. Everything costs a lot.
Right.
You want to give your kids the best stuff. So I sacrifice, sleep sometimes, sometimes being at home. But I understand too, is that if I could go hard right now and I could give them what I didn't have or what I wanted to have, that's going to fulfill me. And helping them pay their way. So they seeing me get out here and go get it and not make no excuses.
Right.
And creating and building and that type of stuff. So I think we try to have as much balance as we can, but honestly, I think there's too much pressure to put on ourselves to say, you got to be balanced. Cause how can you?
Right. Cause it's I know that I was listening or watching a reel of Obama where she was talking about the household and things like that and how, it's never going to be 50-50. The man is not going to get 50-50. The woman's not going to get 50-50. Somebody is going to be giving 30-70. It's
sure.
Sometimes it's like that, but having that support. So my question is with your children, do they feel oh, I need daddy more and he's out helping, mentoring other children?
No, I don't think so because I pull up to stuff that people with traditional jobs really can't do.
Right.
So when they have different things during the day, I try to make sure I'm there. If it's a donuts with dad. Yeah, I push my schedule back to make sure I'm there. If they got little singing things, if I can, I make sure that I'm at what I can be at.
Right.
But even in the house, my kids is always surrounded
under you.
So so it is, but I think right now with them being young, they haven't really.
Yeah. That's so. in the sense of, because, I'm planning on being a wife. Let me go ahead and speak that out there.
Yeah.
So, honey, if you're listening,
Yeah.
where's the ring?
My dog gonna do it.
I need that ring. Yeah. But in a sense of like, what's a day-to-day like routine for like your wife? Because I want to learn how to get in like a routine.
Yeah.
To kind of, I know that you said not necessarily balance, but just like, does that look like for her waking up early and, getting the kids prepared? Like, how does your morning routine look like for you guys?
So normally my wife's the first person up. And then the babies, the small babies, they kind of wake up at the same time.
Yeah.
But the older kids are going to school. So my wife makes sure she up, getting them ready to get out the door. She might have to do some hair.
Yeah.
Whatever she got to do. Right. Then I get up, I help where I can and whatever is not done. We figure our day out and then I go to work. My wife is at home.
Yeah.
With the little babies because y'all know how expensive daycare is. It's crazy. Yeah.
Shout out to CCDF sometimes,
For sure. And then, I got work. I probably work from 10 to 6:30.
Yeah.
I'm back. And then she's at home, taking care of the babies, getting everything in order.
Yeah.
We come to the crib, she cooking dinner, we chill the rest of the night and wake up and do it again.
Yeah. In the sense of like, because you said you have 5 kids, are they all by the same person?
Nope. So I have 3 kids biologically.
Yeah.
1 outside of my marriage and then 2 of my wife. And outside, I mean before we got
married. Right, before, yeah. And I know on no sneaky link type shit. Don't holler at my man. Okay? Right. He's happily married.
For sure.
Ladies.
For sure. And then and then she had 2 children prior to meeting me.
Yeah. So how does that work in the sense of like co-parenting?
Co-parenting is
it's different.
It's different. Yeah, co-parenting is different. We like I said, we got kids outside of us.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's just communication, like making sure things are communicated. Because my daughter Peyton lives with her mother, but we have a schedule.
Yeah.
And so that schedule kind of it's been working for a while, but obviously I want more time. So,
right. Exactly.
We just try to navigate it like we can. When you have a blended family, it's hard. Like it's difficult when you got a blended family. It's a lot of moving parts, especially.
But it's important.
All right, for sure.
100%. And I don't think that some people like understand, like get your feelings and your emotions out of it. Put the kids first and think 100%. About them and just really figure out like what can really work. Right. So communication, like you said, is very important when you have children. Cause I know I'm a bonus mom, and the relationship that I have with my bonus son's mom is not the relationship that I'm used to. Like,
for sure.
I come from a blended family. My stepmom and my mom, call each other on the phone. They talk, they communicate. And that's what I desire, hopefully in the future, but it's very important to communicate.
100%.
Very important.
You gotta put your feelings aside and not saying nobody got feelings, but just any general, blended family, your feelings, like the kids got to come first.
Right.
Bottom line. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that y'all all do it. It sounds like y'all do it all well. I know that every relationship has, its situation. So,
for sure.
But I'm glad that you guys are figuring it out and y'all have a routine and y'all have things that work better. I guess, I got to sacrifice.
Yeah, it'd be like
so sacrifice because I'll be tired as hell.
Nah, for sure. And shout out to my wife because I know she be in that thing grinding. You know what I mean? But also too, like she just came back from Costa Rica.
I seen that.
Yeah, so one thing I'm firm on is I'm behind her 100%. So I know you being here grinding. Let's figure out, go do what you need to do.
Right.
Like, I got you.
I support you.
Yeah, for sure. So,
because I know I respect your hustle.
Yeah, and I want you to figure out, like, I get struggle made me and all this shit is like going crazy.
Yeah.
But this is mine.
I want you to figure out your own lane
too. For sure. Because you was put here, you got a purpose.
Right.
And you special too. And I don't never want my stuff to overshadow whatever she want to do. Because we can build 2 things up at the same time. It ain't nothing.
First off, if y'all did not hear that, please rewind it back and listen to what the hell he said, men and women, because I feel like we both need that, you know, in the sense of like support within each other. Like,
100%.
yes, I got struggle made me gonna always be here. It's gonna always flourish, but I want you to flourish in what you want to do as well.
Absolutely.
I love that shit.
Yeah, appreciate
I think that's a great ending to end the roll up, and we're gonna move on over to the session. Now, this is where we get deep. Okay. Warning. You are now entering into a safe space with Raby Bay. Please feel free to grab your trees, your pen and notebook, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's do it.
Now, if you don't know, you know, this is your first experience with Growing with Raby. The breakdowns are set up into like smoking sessions.
Okay.
You know, so the first one is the breakdown. The second one is the roll up. And then this is the session. You smoke your little trees, whatever you do, and just vibe out and enjoy the conversation.
For sure.
First off, how did we meet? You remember?
Shit, no. We just always been around.
Right. It's like we always connected. Like I feel like it was more so like in the party scene.
It was in the parties at first, definitely.
Yeah.
But it had to come from Manny.
Manny?
Yeah, it had to be. Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the reason why we connected.
Yeah.
Like became cool. Cause I remember when he was like, Raven, I'm gonna propose to her. I was like, oh my God. I was so excited for you, so happy for you.
Yeah.
But even like it's been even before then because we had to get to that point for 100%. You to feel comfortable with telling me, hey, pull up, I'm about to propose. And I don't think I got a chance to. Because when did you propose to her? 2019?
It was
18.
Yeah, I think it was 19.
19.
20. Don't get me wrong, I'm terrible.
Look, he like, hold on, shit. Don't quote me.
Days, I'm telling you.
Don't be mad at him, baby. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think it was around that time.
Yeah, around that time.
And I feel like I was like pregnant or something, or it was something going on. But even before that, like,
I'm we just was always for years, like way before that. Like, we just always
you said you didn't go to Arlington.
Nah, but I was there with them.
Yeah.
And parties and yeah, it just was always
hitting up with what's Shano Wave. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
My Mac Mall. I was always around. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I remember little struggle. You know, now we big struggle, but I remember little struggle.
For sure.
I appreciate like the growth, like seeing you grow, and just like I remember you sharing, and I don't want to get in. I wasn't ready to get into it, but I mean, I guess everything happens
for sure.
You know, explaining to me, and I don't know if it was like socially, I feel like me and you had a conversation where you was like, Raven, I seen this nigga that, you know, did that to my dad.
Yeah.
It took everything in me to just like move forward.
Yeah.
Please describe that space. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you want to relive that or.
No, I'm man. Okay. I'm healed and moved on.
Period.
So, for those who don't know, my father went to prison when I was 5. Yeah. He was released when I was 16. He was released when I was 16 and was murdered by a 17-year-old when I was 17. And so, I think I was probably 27.
Do you know why he was like, was it just on some like.
Man, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And the person that my dad is known for, I can't say what happened that day. So that's part of my healing is I held my dad accountable too. We had a whole conversation spiritually that, like, bro, what was you doing? Because you're supposed to be coming to get me.
Oh,
and you know, I've been a scared 17-year-old too, and I don't know what I would have done.
And your daddy is a. If you see AG in here right now, you know he's swole. So I can only imagine what your daddy look, especially coming out of prison.
Yeah, he was built like a nigga that just got out of prison for sure.
He probably was trying to like mentor him type shit.
Yeah, hell no, I don't think that.
No.
Hell no.
I'm trying to get a benefit of that.
My daddy was a gangster. You know, my daddy was a gangster and he moved like that. And, you know, I don't know. And also I understand too, is like my daddy got a big name out here. So when the police probably got that, they was like, shit, good. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it is what it is. So when I had to be like 27 or 28. We went to, we was going to, what's it called? Grits and
Biscuits?
Yeah, Grits and Biscuits.
Yeah.
Man, so I went to that one time. That was the greatest night of my life. That shit was crazy.
Turned up. It's like, it was given 1990s,
Man, it was
2000s,
fucking amazing.
college parties where we used to, kick it.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is our adult life now,
it's adult.
so we get to experience that again.
Right, we having flashbacks and shit. So me and Manny, it's one of them nights. So I got a pocket full of money. Manny got some money. We riding in his car, and
shout out to Manny, like, more bucks.
Yeah, it's my dog, man.
Love Manny.
He was like, so let's go. So we pulled up. And when we walked down, I was peeping security. Security was weak as shit. I mean, it just didn't check or nothing. So, me and Manny carry because we got permits and shit. So we went down the stairs, and I'm looking, and I see somebody, and the person that killed my dad, I followed kind of his life.
Right.
I didn't really prepare for ever seeing him. But if I did see him, I wanted to know. I want to know
who he is.
Because I did walk up on the wrong person as a teenager and say it was him and it wasn't him.
Right.
And so
now I'm about to be sure.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the bar and I see him and I'm staring at him like, ain't no fucking way. And so I walk past the bar.
Partying.
Right. Walk past the bar. But this is 12 years later.
I would say 10, 12.
11 years later. So I walked past him to see if he knew who I was. And at this time, the clothing brand going crazy.
Right.
It's motherfuckers in here with the clothes on.
Right.
So I walk
Come on, struggle, baby.
Yeah.
Period.
So I walk back past just to see, like, all right, let me see if I'm tripping, because he don't know.
Right.
So I always tell the story because it was so real. You know them cartoons?
And it help people. Like, like be able to look at it and be like, if he can move past that. Like, I know when you told me that, I don't know if it was like a specific conversation that you and I had, or if you shared it socially, but I feel like it was like Raven. I think it was like me and Manny was on the phone type situation, and he told me, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I would have did.
But it ain't, so I was ready. So I tell people about like the cartoon. You ever seen the cartoon where it's the angel and the demon on your shoulders?
Yep.
So we move into the party space, and I'm in a trance. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm playing out how I'm about to kill this nigga in this club in front of everybody.
Right.
Like, but then somebody will walk up. I'm talking about it was clockwork. Somebody had a clothes on and be like, bro, keep doing what you're doing. And then
Come on, guys.
Yeah, and I snap out of it.
Right.
And I'm like, shit. So I call my mom. I'm like, hey, the dude who killed my dad is in this party. What am I supposed to do? She instantly leave. No, leave. Go.
Yeah.
Go. So I ended up finally telling Manny don't know what the fuck going on.
I got chills.
Manny don't know what's going on. So I'm like, bro, when we walked in here, I'll tap Manny. I'm like, when we walked in here, I seen the person that really killed my daddy. So Manny looked up,
Manny on the go.
Hey, when it's about me, he ain't playing on. He like, shit, what you want to do? And I'm thinking like, damn, if I go back to the car, I'm coming back in here. And we both got guns.
Right.
But then I start thinking about like, I got a kid, he got a kid. Like, hell no, we can't go out like this. That shit, we ain't helping nobody by doing this. So Manny tried to give me his keys because I told him I was leaving.
Right.
So I'm like, hell nah, bro, I'm about to Uber home. Because if I'd have took his keys, I can't promise I wouldn't have came back in here.
Yeah, I would have came back in here with this strap.
Yeah, so I went home. I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning and I ain't lying. Like, I felt like a god. I'm not bullshit. Like, I knew I passed the test by the way I felt.
Right.
And I can honestly say it was like a weight lifted off my back.
And you ain't seen him since.
He died. He died during COVID. When
I tell you it is never on your time, it is always on God's time. And he's going to, oh, God, I just,
Yeah, he died. So they called
I'm
me.
Not rejoicing in the fact that he passed
not for
away.
sure.
I don't want anybody to die. Okay,
yeah.
guys? Let me go ahead and put that disclaimer. But the fact that you handled, like, imagine what you would have done, and then you would have took away from your children.
My daughter would have came up like I came up.
And then that would have
a horrible cycle, right?
It would have just been another recycle that she would have had kids, and then she would no.
Yeah. So they called me when he died. I got a call, and they was like, he died, and I sat there for a second because he got kids, and so it fucked me up for real because I'm not happy that he died.
He got sons.
He got son. I think he got a son and a daughter, and so for me, it's like, damn. Now they gotta grow up like I did, and I took a positive route, but not everybody can do that.
Come on, heart.
Yeah, so that I wasn't happy at all. And even to this day, like I hope his kids are thriving the best they can. But I don't.
So what if his son joined Struggle Made Us?
I'd absolutely
I feel like I would want that for you.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
So if you're listening and you know who his kids is, I pray that they could.
Yeah.
Because to know, to actually talk to someone who know what type of, I don't know if he would know that his dad's story or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But if he does, to actually be with someone that can help you to a better life.
For sure.
And it's the person who your dad took his father.
Yeah, different dynamic.
That will be dope as hell.
For sure. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna happen. He gonna whether he joins Struggle Made Us or whether he just has a conversation with you to just get kind of clarity. I feel like that's gonna happen. And when it does, please reach out to me.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna let you know. I'm definitely gonna let you know. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I love that. I love that. And I know I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about it, bring it up because I know that you've talked about it freely.
Yeah.
But to just kind of get in that headspace, I'm so mad that I got you before I did. Because I had to go back and listen. I'm like, okay, let me ask some different type of questions.
Yeah, for sure.
But in the sense of, you mentioned that you had ADHD or you was diagnosed with ADHD at 17.
Yeah.
I was just diagnosed with that at age, 31 last year?
Okay. Yeah.
It made sense for me. It was like, oh shit, that's how it was, why my attention was never focused on school. I liked math when I understood it and when I got it.
Right, for sure.
English looks like you speak English, bitch. Why you ain't understand it? But it just focus wise, I didn't really understand, and so now as an adult, shit makes sense. I wish I would have known sooner.
For sure.
The fact that you said that you knew what it was 17, 18?
Yeah, 18.
18.
Yeah.
You said you knew at 18 that you were diagnosed with it. Did you go the medication route or what did you do?
So,
when you found out?
I always struggled in school. I couldn't remember shit. I would look at notes and couldn't remember it when the test came. So, I had took the ACT and SAT a bunch of times.
Me too. It failed that motherfucker.
Man, listen.
Everybody else was cheating. I was like, I'm not gonna cheat. I was like, I ain't gonna cheat. I'm gonna pass this shit.
Even the driving test, I took that motherfucker 6 times. I couldn't get, I swear on everything. So
I felt like SpongeBob.
Man, I was sitting there for bro, this is bullshit.
Right.
So when I got tested and they said I was ADHD and partial dyslexic, they was, it was like, oh shit, this is why.
Right.
So when I got to college, I had these papers that said what I was diagnosed with. And I gave them to my school and they give you accommodations. So I was supposed to be able to take tests in a different room.
Right. I
was supposed to be able to use my phone. I declined that shit. I didn't want it. I wanted to challenge myself to really do this shit. So I didn't have medication or nothing. I forced myself to find another way to learn.
Yeah.
And then shit, in college, I got 3.0s all the way through.
Period.
Yeah, so I was doing my thing in college.
I like the fact that you said you didn't take the medication. So when I was diagnosed with it, my therapist was, first of all, I go to therapy and do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. And I started this year, September will be 3 years.
Okay. Very dope.
They say it's not good to have a therapy for that long. You're supposed to have them in seasons, but shout out to my therapist. I can't say her name. But she been rocking and rolling with me. You feel me? And when she first told me when we first did the test, she asked me about how I was back in the day. And again, I wish I would have known sooner.
For sure.
Because I feel like it would have helped me out through and I would have had better options.
For sure. Yeah.
Now it's only option I have is to do holistic or medication.
100%.
And what I learned is the more weight that I gained, the more unable I would, the more I was not able to be focused.
For sure.
And forgetful. Oh my God, the most I've ever been was 240. Sis is 190, period. Okay. But yeah, when I was 240 or whatever, I was literally going through a lot. Even I was diagnosed with pseudotumor when I was pregnant. Yeah. I lost my eyesight. I had fluid on my brain. Yeah, it's a lot. I went through a lot, being pregnant. And a lot of that has to do with weight in the things that you put in your body.
For
So
sure.
now I have been more cautious about it, but I did go the medication route.
For sure.
You know, and I did take it, and I feel like it does help me.
Absolutely.
And I'll notice the difference.
Right.
So that's why I was like, I want to see like what he ended up doing. Like, did he push himself? Because eventually I do want to be off the medications.
Absolutely.
And eventually I do want to push myself, but I don't know. I didn't know how to advocate for myself.
Yeah.
Even in my work that I do now, which, you know, that's changing. I'm about to be a secretary at a school.
Okay.
So I'm
Turned up.
super excited.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see like how knowing, cause I was like, I wish I would have known sooner, but if I was able to challenge myself at high school or in college and things like that, I feel like I would have definitely done that route as well versus taking medication.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see like, what was your thought? Do you know anybody who's been on the medication and were they addicted to it?
Nah. I know a lot of people that take you know, like Adderall, right?
Yeah. Because I take Vyvanse, but it's still...
same, you know, and I think that it definitely helps with focus, you know
yeah.
what I mean? But now it's like rappers and shit is talking about it in songs, and it's now it's looked at as like something totally different, like, which I don't fucking understand. Like, okay, bro, are you using it to focus in the studio, or are you using it as like...
And for me, do it really help me with focus? It just gives me energy.
Right.
Because I feel like I lack that. But also D3 gives me energy as well.
Right.
You know, so it's just like, you know, is it really helping you with focus or what? You know, listeners, if you take Vyvanse or any type of ADHD medication, please educate me because I'm learning as I grow. Like,
absolutely.
It ain't even been a year yet since I've known this. Mm-hmm. And so it hasn't been a year that I've been on the medication. I've been off and on like, oh yeah, I'm good. I don't need this.
Right.
And then a couple of months, my life is in fucking shambles. It's like, well, Raymond, you do. You know, so I just wanted to get your input on that.
For sure.
Yeah, I like that. I'm glad that you freely spoke about that. And I like that. I'm going to push myself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with anything that the doctor tells you, like, it shouldn't be, oh, this is what it is.
Right.
You should always educate yourself, and you should always want to push to be better than what they say. You got cancer. Oh shit, I guess I'll go through chemotherapy. You know, not judging anybody who chooses that route.
Right, for sure.
At all, but educate yourself. Don't just take on what they say that you got.
Right. Because sometimes it should be way worse for you.
And it just and to me, I feel like it's just more so about money.
Yeah.
Money, like what they can get out of you.
For sure.
Yep. You know, so I appreciate that. What is the first thing that you think, like, what is the first thing that come to mind when you hear mental health?
Struggle.
Come on, bring it back to the brain. Period.
Struggle.
Yeah.
Just everything that I've seen.
Yeah.
That I think that a lot of people are tired of hearing about mental health, but I think people associate mental health with mental illness too much. And it's not the same thing.
Too much.
Right. And so just because you may be going through some mental health or have a mental health problem doesn't mean that you have a mental health illness. Or if you have a mental health illness, it doesn't mean that you're weird or anything like that. This is something that is part of life. And so, you know, I think people don't understand how deep trauma is. And so they say, oh, well, mental health is an excuse. Well, shit. Anything can be labeled as trauma.
I'm so tired of hearing that mental health is an excuse. You cannot control your upbringing. You cannot control that.
You can't control shit.
And it sucks that people who think like that gotta learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Gotta learn. It's gonna show in
people
you.
That say it or traumatize people.
Facts. That's what I was gonna say.
They just haven't identified their trauma.
Yeah.
And so they trauma is showing because they get angry when they see the word mental health.
Right.
Like, bro, that's a problem, bro.
It's an issue.
This shit not normal what we be going through every fucking day, bro. This shit is treacherous sometimes.
I told you we was having a 2.5, 3 hour conversation prior to this interview.
Yeah.
I literally just said that one of the things that I say that is not normal that comes up in a lot of black men, and I don't know, you know, white men, it might be related to y'all too, but I know for a fact black men, is that their sex, like how sex was introduced to them. Most times it was introduced you were younger and you was fucking with a older lady came on to you. That is not normal.
That ain't normal at all.
That is not normal. Some people was 8 years old. I can't imagine my son at 8 years old being exposed to sex in that manner.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. And I don't know if you feel comfortable. Is your story similar to how sex was interviewed?
No.
Or introduced?
I was watching fucking BET at night and fucking HBO porn where they was dry humping.
Dry humping.
That's how I think I was. Yeah, like, right. That was it. That was it. And then I can remember like the first time, I had actually like jacked off was probably like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But then when like something happened, I thought I was fucking dying. So I was having anxiety attack the whole night. Like, shit, what the fuck is,
when
what
you
did I do?
first came, you like, shit.
I'm like, what is this? What is this shit? I'm about to die. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing about it. Right. You know what I mean? So, I didn't have nothing like that.
But
now,
I know
a lot of people who experienced sex through fucking family members and
they don't think people, that's an issue when you get older.
And the thing is because it's a double standard. So you hear more women come out and say, "Hey, I was touched. This happened to me." Men, we kind of come up like, "Nah, we ain't gonna talk about it, or we not gonna say nothing about it," but that shit fucks with you. Like
it fucks with you.
It makes you over sexualized. Just like, black men are over sexualized anyway. But when you are touched as a kid, that manifests as you get older. So you start seeing these different things.
And you look at women differently. You treat women differently.
Yeah, that all counts.
And that's why I was saying, like, things are like, yes, it's different, in a sense, but if more men came up and said, like, this is what happened to me.
Right.
And this is the thing, these are the steps, like, I had to unlearn.
Right.
I think that's the issue. Most people don't want to unlearn what they went through. Like, they just like, oh, it's normal. That shit's not normal.
Well, it forces you to look at yourself. So then you got to go back and unpack, like, damn, this really happened.
Right.
Oh, it wasn't this way.
Right.
This is why it was like that.
Yeah.
And then you got to look at what it did to you now. So now I'm angry when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
I fucked up every relationship I've ever had because of that. That's probably why.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why therapy is so important, because it gives you a name to put with certain things that you deal with instead of trying to do it on your own.
You get to put, trauma. Okay, this goes here in this trauma. Life or love, this goes here. Like, you get to place things in different categories.
Yep.
I feel like that's very important. Another question I was going to ask is this something that you talk to your kids about? Like, your brothers, I want to say, your little bros.
We talk,
because I think it's important.
You're right. And I could do a lot better with that conversation.
But hold on, let me not make you feel like you not doing your thing.
No.
You doing your motherfucking thing.
I appreciate
let me give you your credit.
No, for sure. No, you did.
But I think that is something that needs to be talked about, because most men don't talk about it.
For sure.
And so that is something that.
Yeah, and a lot of kids that, like, I experienced, like, through DCS, all of them have experienced some sort of sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I'm their safe space.
Yeah.
So I don't go to their dark space.
Right.
You know what I mean? I let them kind of feel comfortable, and then maybe, but I definitely could do better on just explaining to them, like,
this is not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah, this ain't a normal thing.
And it's okay that you feel that it's not okay.
100%. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I want to be able to, not necessarily men, little boys or whatever. Not little boys, they little men,
for sure.
But in a sense of, like, women, little girls or teenage girls, I want to be able to have a podcast show and to be able to talk to girls about it on one session.
Yeah.
And then another session with men. So if you could ask a few of your guys if they would be interested in it and talking about it and expressing. So that way, parents that listen to this that has teenage girls or guys can be like, oh, okay. And they can learn how to communicate with their kids, because that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I want parents and teenagers to be able to talk and, discuss certain things. Cause I know when I was growing up, I was able to talk to my mom about everything except when I lost my virginity.
Oh yeah.
Because like I literally talked about boys, everything, but she didn't know until years later that I lost my virginity.
Right.
And she felt away, but it was like I didn't know how to talk to you about that.
For sure.
So I feel like that conversation is very, very, very important.
For sure. Absolutely.
I'm up here looking because it's so much that I was like, oh, I want to get out of this conversation. So talk more about Struggle Made Us and what you do in that community.
So Struggle Made Us, the nonprofit. I've done a lot of work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they have benefited off my work.
Right.
So it was time for me to do that on my own and get my own benefits. So Struggle Made Us is a nonprofit. We do everything outreach, resources, helping families, but that is where Struggle University is housed. That's that's underneath that. And it's really just, it's going like, you know, it's really going, it's going major.
Do you have like, I know that you said at first you were taking in all kids.
Right.
Do you have a certain limit, like at a time?
So right now we got a limit, just because of like we're working on getting a space. But once we got a space, it's unlimited. I'll take every kid from any side of town. If anybody can get to me, we gonna make sure they get it. You know what I mean? So we working on a space now, coming up with some plans. I own a piece of land on Forest Manor.
Period. Okay, I'm gonna say that real loud in the speakers. Y'all heard that he owned land in his.
Yeah, okay. So I own a piece of land on Forest Manor. And we're gonna build on that.
Yeah,
build our own center on that.
I like that, and I know that I keep going back to that interview because I'm like, I know you talked about your wife doing the girls.
Yeah.
Can we please? Like, I really want to connect with her because
for sure.
You know, I brought this program to the Mom Cave, and I don't want to be the only one on this. Like they're on board and stuff, but I don't know where to start or how to start. But I wanted to be able to talk to teen moms. The idea stemmed from, we did a community baby shower.
Right.
Shout out to the Mom Cave community baby shower. We do it every year.
It was dope.
Fire as hell.
Yeah.
We had over 100 moms come out, and majority of those moms were teen moms who needed guidance.
Yeah.
Who didn't have any, like, who had questions but didn't know what questions to ask.
Right.
And so in the midst of me hosting, yes, I host events, but in the midst of me hosting the event, I gravitated and I connected so much with the teenagers.
Yeah.
Like they were like, I was like their big sister. You know how your boys look at you like my big brother. I was literally like their big sister. And I noticed that I've always had that relationship with all the little girls in my family. They always gravitate closer to me. They always want to know like my advice and talk to me. And even if they don't feel comfortable, I don't pressure them.
Right.
You know, y'all gonna come over here this anyways. You know, I know I'm a vibe. You feel me?
Yeah.
And they always come to me. And as they get older, they be like, you know, I always respected you. Like, it's more of a respect thing. You know, I've always respected you because you've always kept it real with me. You never sugarcoated me and you understood. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to connect with your mom.
Yeah.
But at the community baby shower, I didn't know what to say to these kids because I'm not a teen mom. I wasn't a teen mom. I didn't know, you know, I don't know.
Right.
But all I could do was go off of what I experienced. And I just gave them some advice and it was like, for real? Like, I didn't know that. Thank you so much for telling me that. Like, it was just a great, dope experience. So, my cousin is a dean at North Central. Shout out to Des Jones. And I was like, I don't know. He was like, it's some, you know, he got teen moms at North Central.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I want to be able to connect with those moms to kind of like be a guidance to them because 9 times out of 10, if you're a teen mom or if you're a boy a teen dad, you know, whatever the case may be, you don't know. You didn't have that relationship with your mom early on. Like, you didn't have that space. You wasn't comfortable with talking to other people.
Right.
Other individuals in general, except the people that you're around.
Right. No, for sure.
And so I want to be able to connect with your wife.
Yeah.
In that space. 'Cause I feel like what you do with Struggle Made Us, and what's her organization called?
It's called Mystic Hour.
Mystic Hour.
Yeah, so she does a lot of she makes these bath things with the crystals, and she just came back from ayahuasca retreat, so she's getting into like, you know, teaching people more about spirituality. But what she did with the girls cohort at Cathedral was amazing. Those girls love her.
Yeah.
And it just was just a safe space for them to talk about different things. And even invite me in, because I was real firm on like, you know, you do
your thing, right?
But the girls in the cohort, like when I came in, they would ask different questions.
Right.
You know, some of them had, you know, real dad issues. And so helping them navigate that from a man's perspective, you know, it's just dope. So she definitely do it. She bring a lot. Like,
please. I'm gonna reach out to her. You ain't got to connect. I'm gonna go ahead and reach out to wifey and be like, hey, I talk with AG. She know you on the pod. Period. I'm like, in our interview, she gonna hear this and be like, Raven, let's work. You feel me? I'm definitely down to collab and connect, even if it's just like with Raven, whether, with mom. Sorry, y'all. I done hit the mic. It done fail. But even if it's just with me, whichever way, I'm open to whatever route. But that is something that you said. You just said where you was like, she helped women with other things, like in the sense of like, it's crazy. I'm going back to the 2.5 hour conversation I just had, but we talked about like washing up wise, like. Someone was in a conversation, was like, I done taught like 6-7 women how to wash their ass because they didn't know, and I feel like that is true, in a sense, because, I was telling Tiff, like, we wasn't taught that, our parents wasn't taught that, like when it came to sex, when it came to any of that, it was just like, oh, you supposed to know this.
Right.
How am I supposed?
If I was never taught. Right.
How? Like, shit, scraping tongues. Even it's adults now that don't know that they supposed to scrape their damn tongue. Like, so to be able to put that into children at a younger age, there's people 35, 30, 40 years old that don't know. But to be able to put that in there, I think that is dope for what you and your wife is doing. I can't wait to collab in any way, possible. Whether that Struggle Made Us and, bring Mom Cave in or whatever the case may be. I'm down.
For sure.
Grief. What's the first thing that you hear?
Grief.
When you hear grief.
Shit. Forever.
How do you deal with it?
I don't. I'm glad you asked this.
Because at 17,
grief is rough. Grief is rough for me because in that period of 17 really. So on that same year my dad got murdered, my best friend, who's my great grandfather, died in the hospital, and I didn't even know he was sick.
Your best friend, who was your great grandfather?
That was my best friend in the world.
Wow.
It's my fucking dog. Like, I'm talking about like.
Wow. How old was he?
He was in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
But he was, but we moving and grooving.
Yeah,
so I lived with him to go to Cathedral.
Yeah.
And
because you had to use the addresses
for sure.
Yeah.
So he came to every football game. That was a lot of my foundation. And so he died on my dad's birthday that same year. So when I'm in the hospital, crazy shit. I'm in the hospital and my dad's calling like, damn, you ain't called and told me happy birthday. I'm like, damn, my granddaddy died.
Wow.
And then I ended up calling him back later on, like, happy birthday. And then 3 months later, he died. He got killed. And
how, like, I'm still grieving my best friend grandfather. Like,
yeah. So I had to put that shit somewhere because I couldn't deal with it.
You was numb.
Yeah, I was numb. I had to be numb because I was ready to flash out. And so that next year, my cousin, I used to look up to these folks. So it was my cousin, it was his wife, and they had triplets. Triplets went to Pike. And it was a murder-suicide. So my cousin killed himself and his wife. And I was just there. I used to go over there every weekend. God. So I had to put this shit somewhere. Then I lost Mitch. And I had to put this shit somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about like grief, and it's crazy because I just started grieving again.
Yeah.
Because I didn't allow myself to. And so I say forever because like wherever I put this box of feelings,
Yeah.
I gotta find it.
Yeah.
And obviously it's gonna take some therapy and some real time, but I gotta find it because I want to experience these feelings.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm doing my grandfather a disservice by not fully grieving and accepting and being able to talk to him. You know what I mean? It's certain shit that I be remembering. I'm like, how the fuck did I forget that?
Right.
Yeah.
But do you think that that's grief or is just like, I mean, time? Because
I think it's grief. I think that trauma and that pain,
it made you forget.
Box and it made me on purpose forget so that I could not grieve.
Right.
Because, you know, when you grieving, you thinking of all the shit.
Everything.
Everything good, some of the bad. And I feel like I just put it in a box that I gotta get a hold of.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, like, you know, of course I've lost people in my family. Never no one that was as close to me, you know? So like my first time actually really experienced, like I lost a friend of mine, you know, but I don't think that I was able to really grieve that situation because it was like, you know, he had moved on, you know, with his life and things like that. So I was just like, you know, sad in that sense. But when I lost Rodney,
that shit killed me.
Hey, and I remember you reaching out, like everybody was just like, Raven, like, you know, if you need me, I didn't know, it's getting me emotional, you know? I said, I wasn't going to ever be the one that's crying on this podcast. It's going to be other people. Man. So let me go ahead and laugh it off so I ain't got to cry. But I remember you reaching out to me. Manny was like my, I don't want to say replacement because Manny has always been like my brother.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Right.
You know, but you and Manny was always there. Y'all was the ones that was there for me. Y'all sent like messages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Talk to me whenever I needed anybody. And then Dre, I don't know if you know Dre Hover, or I think.
No, I don't know. I've seen his name, definitely. Yeah.
Dre was like, you know, live your life through Rodney. And literally, even with this podcast that I'm doing now, because I just shared a few days ago how Rodney was talking about me, him, and Phil Hogan was going to all have a podcast together.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm like, I'm living, you know, I took that advice and I'm like, I'm living through, but I never knew what it felt like to really lose someone. And then it wasn't somebody that I lost like in the streets.
Yeah, this is just like some
random. So it's
crazy.
That, like, I feel like I actually went through that grief because all of Rodney's friends had like people they could like count on. Right. They were all in relationships. So they had people that they can like cry to and stuff like that. Yeah. I was the only single motherfucker.
Right.
You know, trying to make a way or trying to figure out. And I coped with weed, with alcohol, with things that partying.
Right.
To the point where like getting drunk as heck. I'm up here sharing some shit I wasn't thinking I was gonna share, but partying to the point like sex. Like, let me just be honest, you know, I didn't know how to maneuver, so I just want to like give some type of advice to people who may be going through something. Like you said, you place it in a box.
Yeah, it's a mystery box. Yeah. I really don't. I'm scared of this box, but I gotta know.
Yeah,
I gotta see this box. So even with Rodney, like. Rodney helped me grieve Mitch. Like, he helped me. He's like, bro, you out of town, do that football shit. And then when Rodney died, I was grieving two people when Rodney died because, like, everything that I felt for Mitch came right back. And I'm fucked up. Like, I don't know what to... I can't be angry and go flash out in the streets because it's not that type of thing.
Right.
But it's like, damn, I'm lost. Now I ain't got nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, I remember... when Rodney was going through whatever and we was both co-parenting at the same fucking time trying to figure it out and we was both going
leaning
crazy.
on each other trying to figure out what the hell, what's going on with these women.
Man, listen,
Get that shit together. I'm trying to see my daughter.
Yeah, but it's just crazy. So anybody that's experiencing it, I would say, man, just give yourself some grace, number one.
Yeah. Allow yourself to go through the emotions.
Yeah, and find somebody to talk to.
Because you gonna be angry.
Right. For sure.
You gonna be happy and you gonna be like, damn, why am I happy? My nigga not here.
For sure.
You gonna be sad.
Yeah.
You gonna cry. You might get back angry.
Yep.
You might get back happy. And like they say, you know, day by day it gets better. It does. Yeah, you know, it does get easier. Right. Not necessarily better, but it gets easier to manage. Like,
right.
Hell, shit. Rodney died May 10, 2018. It is January 21st, 2024?
Yeah.
and I was still just about to cry.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to do however you feel in that moment, in that space. Like, it'd be times where I'll be looking at old statuses and cracking up.
Yeah.
And there'd be other times where I'm crying, you know? So I agree. Give yourself space, time, and just be able to, like, go through the motions.
Yeah. And find something like speaking, like doing this, speaking on stage. Like, that's part of my therapy. Like, if I could talk about it, that means I've identified that it's there.
Yeah.
And then I can talk about the feelings, and then I'm a little bit closer to getting to that box that got feelings in it. You know what I mean? Or opening it up a little more. So
yeah. Maybe I can pull a piece of paper or something out of there. Yeah. Not the whole, I ain't gonna open up the whole box.
For sure.
But I'm gonna be able to pull out something and just be like, you know, but I definitely agree. Talking makes it, for me, you know, some people aren't big speakers,
That's
you know.
true.
So find out what it is that you like to do, and just, whether that's art, draw it out.
Yeah.
Draw out your feelings. Whether that's rapping, rap that shit out.
Yeah.
Whether that's what else? Clothes.
Yeah. Anything,
come on, struggle baby. Example.
Just
you
don't
know?
hold it in.
Yeah.
And don't do nothing. Don't get in a bad habit of doing something detrimental to your health.
Please don't.
Yeah, that is something.
That route of sex, drugs, and alcohol. Yeah. You know, I wasn't on no damn coke or nothing.
Right now, for sure.
No dope or nothing like that. But I was literally smoking every day, all day, every day, trying to, like, cope and trying to get past it, until I realized, like, bruh, you're gonna have to deal with it.
For sure.
And so, like, I feel like that helped me, not necessarily helped me, but realizing, like, Rodney's still here. Like, even in this space right now, his ass probably sitting in his corner right now, like, yeah, that's my niggas over there.
For sure.
They pie. You know, like,
sure.
just having hope, and, you know, like having that mentality that, you know, he's still here. He's still watching over us. He, you know, very much present. We just can't physically see him.
For sure.
You know, so having that mindset definitely helped me, like, when I lost my grandma. Like, you talking about your grandfather. My grandma was my, you know, baby. Like, I call her grandma baby.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that was my baby. And I don't think that I was able to fully grieve because I lost her during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, COVID, they wouldn't let nobody in the hospital.
Nah, they wouldn't.
We seen her in the hospital on machines. And talking to her like, Grandma, you hear? Like, I'm like, you hear me, baby? And I got videos, like, I'm like, I refuse to watch.
Yeah.
You know? But like you said, holding that in, putting that in a mystery box, you don't feel like you fully grieve. I don't feel like I fully grieve my grandmother either.
For sure.
And I haven't spiritually seen her.
Yeah.
Either. I haven't allowed that space to open.
For sure. That makes sense.
And I don't know if I don't know. I tell her and Rodney, hey, don't come to me in my sleep. Yeah. I don't know if I'm be able to handle that. I don't think I can handle that, honey. I might be a little too scared, okay?
I mean, it's a lot of different things. I've been to a medium before. I went to a medium twice, actually.
What was that experience?
It was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
It was dope because I knew she didn't know. The shit that she was saying, she'd have never knew. So she said something about a bell. And it was one of them fucking memories that I put way back.
Wow.
There's no way this woman would have knew about this bell. So when my grandfather, they lived in a condo.
I got chills.
So he used to ring this bell when he needed something if he didn't feel like yelling.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing that motherfucking bell. When she said something about the bell, I'm like, hell nah.
Would you cry?
I cried after. I cried when so my dad came into the room and he told her that I needed to let his situation go. And I asked why he didn't come get me before he went to them apartments. And he was like, there's nothing you would have been able to do. And you probably
would have died. Right. Why would you want to? I mean, I get that. But maybe that could have. I get what you saying. Like, if you would have came and got me, maybe that would have offset you running into him.
Or maybe we wouldn't have went because the week before I seen these niggas.
Yeah.
Like, I seen him. I told my little brother, I said, bro, I don't feel comfortable over here no more. And because I knew the apartment he used to go to, my cousin them used to trap over there. So I knew what was going on, but I'd have told him, hell nah, I'm not trying to go over there. Yeah. And maybe that would have helped, I'm guessing hindsight. Right. But he just said, you let this shit go.
Everything happens for a reason.
He was like, there's nothing you could have done to prevent this.
Yeah.
And shit, I just had to let it go. But the medium was deep. They was saying shit that I knew for a fact this lady,
she would have no idea.
Yeah, like.
And some people get bad reps on that because.
Yeah.
I feel like some people just do it because, it's popular or something like that. They don't really know what the fuck they talking about.
Right.
But to hear that, you got some type of clarity.
For sure.
Innocent, because I've never experienced a medium. Like, I've never gone through that process. I've had people like speak to me like, oh, Rodney came to me, like when I had lost Rodney came to me and just told me, to watch out after his daughter. Mm-hmm. And I felt like it was my responsibility. But then again, I was like, shit, I don't want to overstep, with his baby mom.
Yeah.
But like, I never said this publicly, and I'm going to say this shit here on Growing with Raby. I feel like Lil Lennox looks similar to Charlie. And I feel like I got my daughter out of Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'll be looking at Lennox pictures, and I'll be like, damn, her and Charlie kind of look alike,
Yeah.
So it's crazy how things happen, because I was like so wanting to be there, wanting to be more active and more involved. And even still now, I still want to. But it's like, okay, Raven, you got what you wanted, what you asked for.
Right.
So that's dope. I probably need to experience one. I don't know. I don't think I'm ready though.
Yeah, go at your own pace. Yeah. I think too, the world is too overly religious about stuff, so we see stuff and be like,
that's devil work.
Right. But until I met my wife, I was like that. But my wife, like, she be breaking shit down. Like this ayahuasca retreat she went on, I'd have never, hell no, ain't no fucking way. But to hear her experience was like, maybe that's what's holding us back, is we not open to more shit, because religion
tells us.
Or just the world. We live in a fear-based world, so this shit exists for a reason.
Right.
There are people who believe in this because this has done something for them.
Right.
We'd be fools to keep doing the same shit we watched everybody before us do.
Exactly.
And they never healed or never got better or never got no type of closure or nothing. So, that's why I'm grateful for her, because she really, like, I look at shit different. Like, all right, well, shit, if that's what you into, let's do it. And then when I am comfortable, or when I am ready,
willing to hear,
that's at least something that it's in my head. Like, maybe I don't know. You know what I mean? So,
but I like the fact that she's the one, because I feel like that's me in my situation. Yeah. I'm the one I'm adored the motherfucking explorer. I'm trying to figure some shit out. Like I tell Tiff all the time, I don't know nothing about no chakra shit, but I'm open to learning about 100%. It and wanting to really like make sure that it aligns with what I'll like makes, as long as it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like, damn, that's a possibility.
Right.
I'm open to that.
Sure.
Yes, I'm a Christian. Let me go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
But I don't fault nobody for what you believe. And if you can educate me on something else, and if it makes sense, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that she's the one that's like open. She bring that shit to you. You're like,
yeah, like, just go ahead then. All right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You tell me how it was.
Right. Nah, for sure. Like when I first seen she had an altar, I'm like, what is this?
What is that? What is an altar?
So altar is really like...
tell us what it is.
I mean, it's really just like, you giving... thanks to the people who came, your ancestors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, it's a real altar. So I'm looking like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? So she explained it to me. I'm like, damn, that's deep and it makes sense. Like, you're right. Because so many people die before us that we just forget.
Right.
Or we have these slight memories, but to give them thanks and being grateful for everything that they endure for us to be here, I fucks with it.
And then who's to say, I mean, in Christianity, it doesn't say that that's wrong.
Right.
Like,
sure.
I mean, I don't know my Bible like that, but I know the Bible a little bit to know that, like, even in that, he's just like, as long as you don't put that before me, before God,
right?
So be it. Explore. It's out there for a reason, like you said, like mermaids and stuff. Like, you believe in mermaids? If it's a movie about it,
that motherfucker exists.
It's at some point.
All of it, bro. That's why I don't subscribe to a religion. I've pulled things from multiple religions that work for me.
Yeah.
So yes, I believe in God. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think that the person that believes in 6 gods, I don't think they wrong.
Right.
I think we was all just put here for the foundation to learn what love was.
Right.
And to do good by people. And then after we transition, we figure it out after that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think people put too much basis on shit that don't matter. Like, just love people, man. Just love people and treat people how you supposed to be treated and help somebody.
That's what I always say. Like, it's about love. It's about genuine love, not no fake ass love, not no, oh, because you up, I want to show you the attention. Like, it's genuine, real motherfucking love. That's all it's about. For sure. If you just show people, like, treat people with respect. They taught you that motherfucking, what, middle school? 100%. Peace camp.
Yeah.
What was it? And then, like, when you express your feelings, I feel when you, like, as long as you're expressing your feelings and you genuinely love people, you can go a long way. For sure. You can go a long way. For sure. When I say really, I want to ask you so much more. Like, we can talk, we can sit and talk for hours because I really like, again, I create, but, I really like the fact that you were saying how you take your boys and you do meditation, you do yoga, you teach them about deep breathing. Stretching and yoga is like similar, but like I say all the time, stretching and meditating changed my life. If I would have known to keep motherfucking stretching after dance class, after I got older, you know how flexible I would be. Okay.
For sure.
But no, on some serious shit, like I like that you did that, and I wanted to go deep in it, but I mean, it's already said and done. Stretch and breathe, honey. You can live a little bit longer.
100%.
Okay?
100%.
But to close it out, I do have 2 questions that I ask everyone. Okay. What is something based off this conversation that you inspired to grow and do differently?
Talk more about sex.
Look, I was about to mention it.
Yeah, definitely talk more about sex to my youngers and having those open conversations. Yeah. So that they know, how things work and what you're supposed to do and how to heal from certain things, or just to be open. Yeah. Just to know that it's okay to be open. Yeah. No pressure. So definitely that.
Be more expressive. Yeah. I literally was gonna say you can't think of it because I got it for you. I had it in my back pocket.
No, definitely.
And then the last question is, well, it's not necessarily a question. I'm gonna assign you some homework. All right. And I'm trying to think of something that and I call it growth work, not homework. For sure. This is something that you can take on and that you can pass further on. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that you don't do. And I feel like I assign this to every guy that come on this pod. Do you take a moment to yourself daily?
Yes. I didn't a while ago, but definitely now.
You do? Yeah. How long do you take, like?
So I drive a lot. Like, I'm from client to client, so those in-between times are normally like my time where I'm just vibing.
That don't count.
You said not that?
That don't count.
Okay.
So I want you, so this is your growth work from here going forward, and I'm going to check in. Okay?
I bet.
I'm going to check in. Yeah. I want you to spend an hour a day. You ain't driving. Okay. You're not doing nothing, whether that's before everybody else wake up. Right. And you go back to sleep. Yeah. Or whether that's at night where, everybody is, you done put the family to sleep, And I understand, you and wifey have y'all little moments and times. But even in that space, like just an hour of like, whether that's meditating, whether that's just journaling, whether that's not doing shit at all and just like clearing your mind. Yeah. I want you to take an hour a day to just really just tune in and just focus on you. Focus on Aaron. Because if you ain't right, how can you be right for these boys?
100%.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
So I appreciate you. Anything you want to say to me?
Nah, man, I appreciate you for having this platform. This is dope. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's next to come, and let's get it. Shit.
I hope that people that are listening to this, they can grow from it because it's growing with Raby, Yeah. As I grow, I want you to grow. As I get information, I want you to get the information. For sure. So make sure you follow Growing with Raby on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you want to email me, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, and I can ask different audience, growingwithraby@gmail.com, and let us know where they can find you.
Big Struggle AG on Instagram. Struggle made me anywhere. Struggle made us anywhere. We in your face. You see them jackets, just know them mines. Them my people. So
and you can't get a jacket. You can't buy no jacket. You got to go through that program.
Yeah, hell no. We ain't selling no jackets. We ain't devaluing shit.
Okay,
you got to come through the program to get one.
It's cool. I'm gonna need a big struggle, beautiful struggle.
For sure.
Something with struggle made me some type of wear. You know, I'll be having people on this platform. They be saying they gonna bring me some shit.
Nah, for sure.
And I don't be getting it.
Nah, for sure. Spring 24, we back. Okay. Struggle made me clothing. We'll be back spring 24.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.